What's up? It's Marco back on This Week in Soccer, the weekly show where we cover all things U.S. men's national team. And it's transfer deadline day, and we got a lot to talk about. I might just do a transfer special tomorrow because some of these deals are still ongoing, but man, there's still a lot of completed deals, a lot to talk about, and some stuff on the field as well to talk about. But starting things off, we have to get into the transfers. And first thing is Chris Richards. He's being loaned back to Hoffenheim for the season with a new Bayern contract, according to Bavarian Football Works. I think that's probably best for his long-term future. I mean, staying at Bayern long-term and getting some playing time at the moment. I mean, that's basically all you can ask for. And really excited for Chris Richards. Next, we got Matthew Hoppe moving to Mallorca, maybe Mallorca. It's got double L's. Man, my Spanish is not as good. This is according to Fabrizio Romano, so he's going to be playing in La Liga alongside Yenis Musa, alongside Matt Miazga. Another very good move for him. Should be able to get some playing time in that team and playing at a very high level. We've seen a couple of really good strikers come out of La Liga. I mean, Diego Costa developed there, Antoine Griezmann. So I feel like that's a very good move for him. Next, a bit more uncertain, we got Cameron Carter-Vickers. He seems to have recovered from his old injury, so he should be able to pass a medical and he should be able to move. However, it's not really sure if anything's going to happen. According to Last Word on Spurs, Tottenham wants to move on, but there really isn't anything in place. Newcastle seems to have gone another way, and Celtic wanted to loan him in, but Tottenham want to transfer. Right now he's on a contract that expires next summer, so Tottenham want to sell him right now, but other clubs only want to loan him in because then they won't even have to pay for him. They can just have him for this year, then sign him on free after. So it's kind of a weird situation. Right now it seems like he's either going to go to Celtic or end up staying at Tottenham, which would not be the best for his career staying at Tottenham. I guess he gets some Europa Conference League games. It'll probably become dead rubber pretty quickly with how good Tottenham are. Maybe he'll even play with if injuries come up. But not the great situation there. Next, we've got Eric Palmer-Brown, and he is going to Troyes on loan from Man City. This according to Brian Sciarrietta. I really hope I didn't butcher that name, because he covers a lot of U.S. men's national team stuff. This is the first time I had to say it out loud. But, hey, going to the French top flight, another really solid move. I mean, get some playing time, get to develop. He does need to move on from Man City. I don't see him supplanting Laporte, Diaz, John Stones, Kyle Walker anytime soon in their starting lineup. But, I mean, for the moment, it's pretty good. But, again, you need to get out of that club. Next, we got some news on Justin Shea, another FC Dallas Bayern Munich guy. And going back to Bavarian Football Works, Bayern are still interested in Justin Shea and are probably going to try to sign him in the winter. I imagine that he's going to go. Also, he just returned from injury and he's back in the FC Dallas team, so that's definitely a good thing. Next, Reggie Cannon. He's still out of the Boa Vista team, so a move is pretty likely. He hasn't been in the squad at all. I've been trying to find where he's been definitively linked to. I've seen Blackpool, I've seen Nottingham Forest, I've seen Nice and the Serie A in general. He's been linked basically all throughout Europe, and I have no idea where he's going to end up. There's nothing concrete at the moment. Hopefully something comes up for him, because I don't think Boa Vista is his end game, but yeah, it's still up in the air for Reggie Cannon. Next, we have Weston McKennie. So this week he started in kind of out of position as a bit of a false 9 or a 10, and he was subbed off after not a great performance. And he's been linked with a move away for a while now. It seems to be getting more and more legit, and there are a lot of conflicting reports right now. Roger Gonzalez just reported that he is staying at Juventus for sure, while Sky Sports just reported that he's been offered to Burnley. So, kind of conflicting. I think at this point, it's so late that you'd expect him to stay. I mean, Burnley doesn't have the biggest budget, and I think they just spent their record transfer, so I can't imagine he's going to be going to Burnley. But, man, it does seem like Juventus might want to sell him. I don't think they'll have to. I think getting rid of Cristiano Ronaldo's wages would be good enough for them. So I'm expecting him to stay, but again, it's kind of up in the air right now. Next, Gerald Dike returned from injury, and he's getting linked to Leeds by HITC. Would be a decent move for him. Leeds do a lot with some players. I mean, Patrick Bamford, if you weren't following him, like before he was at Leeds, he was awful in the Premier League. Like, he was not a Premier League caliber player, but once he got to Leeds, got to working with Marcelo Bielsa, and he turned around quickly. Man, if Daryl Dike gets there, I'm really excited about what he can do with Daryl Dike. So I'm looking forward to that. West Brom, Crystal Palace, Leeds, those are all the teams he's being linked to right now. Like basically anybody like in the 10th to 30th best clubs in England is where he's getting linked to. And last transfer news is Nicola Giaccini. According to Last Word on Sports, he's getting monitored by both Troyes, maybe possibly joining with Erik Palmer-Brown, and Reams. I think it was Troy with Erik Palmer-Brown that had a connection to Steve Nash. Don't quote me on that because I was looking at so many clubs. I feel like... No, it was Mallorca and Matthew Hoppe. Forget what I just said. But he would go there with Erik Palmer-Brown, or he'd go to Ream with, just getting to move up. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen today. There hasn't been anything like too legit on it. But, good to see he's getting monitored by that because he needs to move on from League Dub pretty soon. So hopefully Nicola Giaccini will move on soon. Next, in injury news, we got a couple of good things, one bad thing, I guess. Christian Pulisic is back in training for the national team. I mean, he's been training, he's cleared protocols, and though fitness might still be an issue, I mean, he has been able to do things for a while. Maybe resting him against El Salvador before a tougher Canada game is a good idea. He might have wanted to do that anyway, but, man, it's World Cup qualifying, and at this point, you really want to go with the full-strength squad as much as possible. But, so it's tough to say that, but I think that he's probably going to be available by the Canada game, maybe even by the El Salvador game, but Christian Pulisic's back, and that's a good thing. Next, another piece of injury news, Yenis Musa made his return from injury, and then Valencia's win over Alavés, a win over Matt Miazga. I think it was his debut for them, and yeah, great job. I really like seeing Yenis Musa back, and I wish he could have been in the national team squad. It seems like he's able to, but hey, don't risk the injury, don't risk it too soon. He came off the bench, so maybe still on a minute restriction. Next, Tim Ream came back from injury, kept a clean sheet with Anthony Robinson. And Tim Weah, he picked up an injury and he's going to be missing World Cup qualifying this month. Yeah, disappointing, but honestly at this point we've planned for it. I mean, he's kind of injury prone, so... I mean, it's disappointing, but kind of expected. Okay, so now in actual game action, some results. Josh Sargent had a great EFL Cup game for Norwich City, and he's been getting some Premier League game time off the bench. Unfortunately, Norwich have 0 points from 9 available, and they have a relegation 6-pointer against Arsenal coming up soon. Didn't think that would happen going into the season. Well, I did a little bit. I don't really rate Arsenal. But, yeah, he's getting some time. He's becoming a Premier League player. You like to see that from Josh Sargent, but Norwich is not looking great at the moment. Next, Jordan Pefok, or Sibichu. He scored again for BSC, and they'll be playing in the Champions League group stage. They advanced to the group stage, and another guy playing in the Champions League. That's great for us. Next, Ricardo Pepe. I mean, we all know at this point he declared for the U.S. men's national team, and he also scored the winning penalty in the MLS All-Star game before getting up race for FC Dallas. So, huge week for Pepe, and love to see it. Really promising player. Hopefully he does well. Next, Conrad De La Fuente, another assist and a start for Marseille, and he's continuing to do well. He has been dominating this league. I think we knew he was a very promising player, but the end product that he's been showing at Marseille is another level, and I'm really excited to see him in the national team on Thursday, hopefully. Giovanni Reina, he scored as Dortmund picked up a win. He was a bit of an injury concern as well. Maybe I should have listed that there, but he's looking good. He's really stepping into that bigger role now that Jadon Sancho is gone. He even took his number. But Gio Reyna, he's been playing great, and I'm really hoping to see him in the midfield for the national team. Hope we can do that, maybe push Konrad out wide, and I feel like that'd be the best case scenario. Then Tyler Boyd started for his new club that I'm not going to try to pronounce again, and they lost, unfortunately, as Haji Wright picked up a hat-trick against them. Man, he's been playing in Turkey. It's going very well for him. Might be somebody to monitor. I mean, that striker position, it's still not really nailed down by anybody. And if Haji Wright gets a good run of form going, I mean, we've got a couple of Turkish players in the national team. Well, I think only Giandre Yedlin at the moment, but we got some guys on the radar, so, let's look for Haji Wright. Then Brandon Aronson, he scored another goal as RB Salzburg advanced to the Champions League group stage. Another guy in the Champions League, and Brandon Aronson's been on fire lately. 2 goals in that knockout stage round, or I guess qualifying round, for RB Salzburg, and he's been looking good. Especially with Pulisic out, I really want to see him start for the national team. Maybe get Aronson on one side, Konrad on another side, Gio Reyna, McKennie, Adams in the midfield, whoever we want on top. Probably Pefok, maybe Sargent. And that's probably my team at the moment. Next, Gianluca Busio made his debut for Venezia in a 3-0 loss. He looked pretty comfortable with the speed of the game. He did make a mistake, but he's been. You see all the good signs. Like with the young player making his debut, you look for the positives. Like, I remember when, I think it was Anthony Robinson made his debut for the national team. Like, he got kind of burnt by one player, and it's like, dude, he's making his debut. You gotta look for the positives, and there are definitely a lot of positives by Gianluca Busio. Oh, speaking of Anthony Robinson, he continues to perform as he's helping Fulham in the Cup and to EFL Cup and Championship wins. He's been a very good player for them. He looks like a very good left back in England, and yeah, I'm really hope. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be staying at Fulham this season, though they have a very good chance of yo-yoing again. But yeah, disappointed to see Andy Robinson down there, but he's doing very well. Next, Joe Scaly. He started at right back for Borussia Mönchengladbach. They lost, though their left back did come back. Joe Scaly stayed in the team, and that's the versatility that we love. And if he's been playing in multiple positions for him, and the manager is sticking to Joe Scaly, that's a huge sign of faith and very good. Next, John Brooks helped Wolfsburg keep a clean sheet against Jesse Mark and Tyler Adams' RB Leipzig team, and they're still top of the Bundesliga. Can't say that's going to last. I mean, Bayern always wins the Bundesliga at this point. But man, doing very well. I'm really excited to see Wolfsburg in the Champions League. Next, Mark McKenzie. He's been coming off the bench lately. He came off the bench to seal a win. He only played about 5 minutes, all in added time. I just wanted to bring that up because people are saying Chris Richards needed the playing time to get a call up. I did write this before he got moved back on to Hoffenheim, but it's just like, guys, like, at least be consistent. Mark McKenzie's not playing at the moment. We can call up Chris Richards, Okay, anyway, next MM center back, we got Matt Miazga, started for Alavés as they were beaten by Valencia, as I mentioned. Yeah, I think it'll take some time to adjust to La Liga, tough league, and a new club. Even though he's been on loan so much, he went to Belgium, and he was coached by Vincent Kompany, so I'm not too sure how big of a language barrier there was. He was in Nantes for a little bit, but that didn't last too long. But other than that, most of his loans have been to English teams or Chelsea's Viaties up in the Netherlands, which is basically their feeder squad. So I imagine they make it really easy for him. So it could be a tough adjustment period. Okay, last two players to talk about. Ethan Horvath got beat 4-0 in an EFL Cup game, but from what I've seen, Forest fans liked his performance, and hey, hopefully he gets some time after the international break. He's been the backup, but now that they're out of the Cup, hey, who knows what's going to happen. And lastly, Matt Turner started for the MLS All-Star game, for the MLS All-Stars in the game, and he saved a couple penalties in the shootout. Great performance by him, and making his case for the number one keeper spot. He's the only guy playing right now, so he's got a chance. Yeah, that's all I've talked about. I mean, very good week. I'm going to be talking about the transfers tomorrow. Hopefully Cameron Carter-Vickers figures something out. But, yeah, that's all I've talked about right now. And a lot of good moves. I'll see you.